Welcome to Citi Field in Flushing, New York, the site of Game 3 of a 3-game series between the Red Sox and the New York Mets. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox wrap up this road trip today and also wrap up the month of August coming up here. And certainly, Jerry, this last month, the Red Sox outfield really producing. Yeah, and it's the young outfield for the Boston Red Sox that's really been doing a good job. The young players have been their best players throughout this stretch. And we start off with Mookie Betts, who yesterday in the ballgame picked up home run number 12 for him. And you'll notice the location is going to be a fastball in. He absolutely loves that pitch, and he puts a charge in it. A line drive home run. But both Betts and Castillo, who's in the lineup today, have an excellent month of August. You can see the numbers so far this month. 312 for Mookie Betts with the 2 home runs and 12 RBIs. And look at Brusney at 361 with 18 RBIs hit on the month. And also Jackie Bradley Jr., who is not in the lineup today, has hit 320 in the month of August. So, you know, they're getting a real good look at these guys. They've improved since day one of the season. They continue to improve here late in the season. And it's going to be pretty exciting watching these guys moving forward. Well, the Red Sox trying to make it a clean sweep of the Mets in what's been a very good series for Boston. Red Sox Nation here as the Red Sox and the Mets are coming up in a bit. America runs on Duncan. Toyota's website for deals by Toyota.com. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. The Kia Sorento. The USAA, proudly serving the needs of our military community for over 90 years. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. We welcome you back inside Citi Field as we get ready for Game 3 of the 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Mets. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. When Koji Uehara went down in Detroit with the fractured wrist, it certainly put the Red Sox bullpen in flux, especially the back end. And since then, the Red Sox have made several changes, and we find out today from Garen Austin there are more changes today.
That's right, Don. In his pregame press conference, interim manager Torey Lovullo said that they're going to move Junichi Shizawa back to the 8th inning role. Lovullo said that's a role Shizawa has excelled in, and now they'll look to Gene Mashi in the 9th.
It looks like Gene will have the 9th. And yesterday he did a great job. He's pitched in big games. Nothing bigger than World Series games for me. So he's battle tested. But we just have to be careful about his workload as well. So we might make some adjustments in that 9th inning depending on what the situation is with Gene. But for right now, we won't bump Taz up into that 9th inning. We'll keep him in the 8th inning even if Gene is unavailable.
Well, Torey Lovullo certainly hoping that Wade Miley can go deep into this ball game. It's the Red Sox and Mets. Red Sox trying to make it a sweep. We're back with the first pitch right after this. BOS.com. Well, a very nice day again at Citi Field for the finale of this series. Red Sox have been very fortunate weather-wise, really, on this entire trip. First to Chicago and now here to New York to take on the Mets. And really, the entire trip has been very good for the Red Sox. Last 5 games of this road trip that started in Chicago against the White Sox. Red Sox have gone 4-1 during that time. 240 team average with 15 extra base hits. Opponent average at just 250, and looking for their first road sweep of the season today against the Mets after winning the first 2 games against 2 very good pitchers. Now the combination working well so far for the Red Sox in this series, and they're hoping for more from Wade Miley today. As the Mets take the field, led by their starter, Noah Syndergaard, as we check out the Red Sox starting lineup, brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Now Mookie Betts leading it off in center field with Pablo Sandoval at third base batting second. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop third with David Ortiz back in the lineup at first base. Brock Holt at second base with Rusney Castillo in right field. Blake Swihart doing the catching batting seventh with Alejandro De Aza in left field batting eighth. And the pitcher Wade Miley will bat for himself and bat ninth in the Red Sox order. Now the Mets starting pitcher is presented by your New England Nissan dealers. Syndergaard makes his 20th start of the year, coming in at 8-6 with a 3.19 earned run average, 126 strikeouts and 115 and 2/3 innings. Opponent sitting at 238 against Syndergaard. And Tuesday he was able to beat the Phillies. Only 5 innings though. He gave up 4 runs, 2 were earned, and struck out 9 in the 5 innings. Part of a very good Mets pitching staff.
Now, the Mets defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they are 7th in the National League with 72 errors on the season. David Wright will be at third base. Ruben Tejada, the shortstop. Juan Uribe at second, and Daniel Murphy, the first baseman. Left to right, Michael Kadaya, Juan Lagares, and Curtis Granderson, and Anthony Recca doing the catching for Syndergaard.
Well, the umpiring crew today, Joe West in behind the dish calling the balls and strikes today with Bill Welke at first base, the crew chief John Hirschbeck at second base, and John Tampani, the umpire, at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Lots of sunshine here again today after what's been a sunshine-filled weekend here in New York. 86 degrees as we play day baseball from Citi Field. Breeze out to left at 7 miles per hour, and the forecast partly cloudy for the remainder of the day. Well, Jerry, if you took a look at the pitching matchups coming into this series, you'd have to think the Mets really had an advantage in that area, but not so. The Red Sox have been able to get to the Mets starters.
No, we saw that graphic actually on the whole road trip. The Red Sox pitching has been very, very good, and especially in this series. The Mets, I have been very impressed with their pitches also, and you got another hard thrower in the ball game today, and Syndergaard, he's another one of those power arms that the Mets have. But the Red Sox pitching has certainly been up to task here in this series and on the whole road trip.
And how about the run Joe Kelly's on right now?
Yeah, he was outstanding again yesterday. We talked about it yesterday, mixing in his breaking pitches, his curveball, his changeup to go along with his fastball. Very nice outing by Kelly, and desperately needed going deep into the game.
Yeah, Mookie Betts about to lead it off here for the Red Sox in the top of the first inning. It'll be Betts, Sandoval, and Bogaerts. Featured in the first as Betts totes a .273 average with 12 homers and 60 runs batted in. Syndergaard with the first pitch of the ball game, and it's in there for strike one. We're underway. Now Syndergaard in search of his 9th win of the year. Betts thought about it. A check swing. Did he go? No, says Bill Welke, first base umpire. So all the strikeouts for Syndergaard. This is his arsenal this season.
Yeah, a lot of fastballs, the slider that you just saw, and a 9% changeups.
In there for strike 2.
He was originally a member of the Toronto Blue Jay organization. Came over in that deal that sent R.A. Dickey over to the Blue Jays. Multiple players involved in that deal.
This is rip foul back into the seats off to the left. At Citi Field, he is 7-1 with a 1.82 earned run average. 13 earned runs in 64 1/3 innings in 9 starts here on his home mound. Very comfortable here. You look at the breakdown. That last win last time out, that was his first road win. That was against the Phillies. And that is on the outside corner for strike 3.
Back to the outside corner with the fastball for Syndergaard against Betts. 98 miles an hour on the corner. Nasty pitch. See Rucker set up right out there, had the glove in the perfect spot and right in the catcher's mitt for the first out of the ball game.
Now one down for Pablo Sandoval, back in that 2 spot in the Red Sox order. And a swing and a miss. Tardy on the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Sandoval has hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games. Overall hitting at .254 with 10 homers and 41 runs driven in. Of all the offense the Red Sox have put together, Sandoval has not had a huge offensive trip for the Red Sox. 3 for 17 so far on the trip. And 1 for 8 so far in the series. Reaches out and pokes it foul off to the left, out of play.
And again, that fastball at 98 just off the outside part of the plate, but Sandoval chases it, fouls it off down that third base side.
With his strikeouts, first 19 career games with the Mets, and Syndergaard in pretty good company. Protecting the plate that time is Sandoval, fouling it off to the left, out of play.
That ball even a little bit farther outside, and Sandoval still able to foul it off. You can see how far he had to reach to make contact on that.
Softly hit on the ground towards first base. Syndergaard's got a cover. He does. And a nice play there by the Mets, and Syndergaard especially in a good athletic play. Some good footwork. 2 down.
Yeah, he took kind of an unusual route to first base because he thought he was going to be able to make the play himself. You'll see him change directions on the way to first base. There he thinks he can get it. Now he's going to switch. And the flip to first base goes in front of him, able to catch it, then look down and pick up the bag for the out.
So 2 down here in the first inning, and it brings up Xander Bogaerts. Red Sox shortstop totes the hefty .313 average coming into today's game, and is 6th in the American League in batting average at .313, with leader Miguel Cabrera top of the list at .361. There is strike 1 right down Broadway at 98 miles an hour. Bogaerts had a 9-game hitting streak come to an end on Saturday. 2 for 9 so far in the series against the Mets. Down on the count, 0-2. Bogaerts fouls it off to the right, not a play. 98 again from Syndergaard.
And staying with all fastballs so far to Bogaerts. We've seen some power arms in these 3 games for the Mets. That whole starting rotation is like that.
Ready with the 0-2 again. Not chasing that is Bogaerts. And Terry Collins, the manager of the Mets, starting the day with a 5.5-game lead over the Nationals. Nationals were able to pick up a game last night, where the Mets dropping the ball game here yesterday and the Nationals winning. They get a little closer, but still some room atop that National League East. Ground ball on a couple of hops out to the shortstop Tejada. His throw is late. So reaching is Xander Bogaerts down the line very well. Ball not hit that hard, and he beats it out, an infield hit.
And he topped it down to Tejada at shortstop. But Tejada, you see how deep he is and how far he has to come to make this play. And then getting rid of the baseball with Bogaerts' speed, he's able to beat it down at first base. Xander giving it all he has to try to beat out that ground ball and gets himself a base hit out of it.
So 2 down, and Bogaerts at first base gives David Ortiz a chance. Did not look like he was running very well yesterday, and it appeared the heel may have been a problem again, but that's not the case. David says he's fine. Said that right after the ball game last night. Pinch hit and got himself a double here yesterday. And back defensively at first base. Started the first game of this series at first base. David sets the All-Star break, hitting at .336. And so far 3 for 4 in the series as he takes a strike right at the bottom of the zone. (21 of the 27 home runs Big Papi has on the year against right-handed pitching. And a foul that takes the mask right off Rucker.
And trying to get right into the hands of David Ortiz with that last fastball and gets him to foul it off.
That's struck out. Sandoval grounded out. Bogaerts reaching on an infield hit. Runner at first, 2 down here in the first inning. The games that Ortiz has started at first base defensively, the Red Sox are now 6-2. The 1-2 pitch will have to wait to check on Bogaerts, and he was leaning, but he goes get back. That was pretty close.
Yeah, if you're going to steal a base with Ortiz up, you want to do it with 2 strikes, and you can see Bogaerts taking the first initial step towards second base, which leads you to believe that he may have been going on that. Very slow crossover, and then the dive back, and just gets back in time.
Outside, 2-2.
That's the changeup that time at 86 miles an hour.
Bogaerts gains his lead again at first base. Held on over there by David Murphy. The 2-2 pitch. And Ortiz with a swing and a miss. A 98-mile-an-hour fastball by him ends the first inning. Mets are coming up. first inning. Here come the Mets in the bottom of the first inning. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Wade Miley on the mound for his 27th start. He is an even 10-10 with a 4.51 earned run average. Logged 153 2/3 innings. Juan Lagares leading it off here for the Mets in the bottom of the first inning. Last time out, the only loss of the road trip for the Red Sox at Chicago. 6 2/3, where he scattered 13 hits and gave up 5 runs.
Yeah, the 13 hits given up in that ball game was a career high for Wade Miley.
An 0-1 record and 3 career starts against the Mets. Was that coming as a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks in his time in the National League? And of course, Wade Miley, National League All-Star 2 years ago. Miley leading the team in starts today. He is 27th. Also leading the staff in wins with 10. Strike 3. And the strikeout from Miley to start the bottom of the first inning. Let's check out the Mets lineup. It's brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Juan Lagares just led it off. He's a center fielder with Curtis Granderson in right field. David Wright at third base bats third with Daniel Murphy at first base. Michael Kadire in left field with Juan Uribe starting at second base. Ruben Tejada at shortstop. Anthony Brecker does the catching and bats 8th. And Noah Syndergaard does the pitching and bats 9th. One out here in the bottom of the first inning for Curtis Granderson. Miley falling behind 2-0. Granderson taking a hack and can't get it.
Granderson has never faced Miley in the past. This is his first plate appearance against Wade Miley.
A couple of hits here yesterday, going 2 for 4, including a double and a half-hearted swing there.
Looks like Miley goes to a slider right here, down and away from Granderson, and not even close to being a strike, but Granderson swings at it.
Anderson stepped out trying to get Miley to break up the rhythm a little bit. Miley working very quickly per usual, and he has struck out the first 2 Mets he's faced today, and Granderson didn't agree. 2 down.
After the first 2 hitters are any indication, the strike zone's going to be pretty big today for these pitchers. That ball appeared to be well outside, but called strike 3. The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 10th in the league with 78 errors on the season. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base, and the Bogarts, the shortstop, Rock Holt at second, David Ortiz at first. In the outfield, De Aza, Betts, and Castillo, and Swihart doing the catching for Miley.
2 down here in the last half of the first inning. It brings up David Wright. .21 on the year, 2 homers and 5 runs batted in for Wright. Former Oakland A's manager Bob Guerin. One-two pitch the other way, and it'll drop in for a base hit. Looked like it was towards the end of the bat, and Castillo picks it up. David Wright, first Mets base runner of the afternoon.
It certainly sounded like a broken bat from David Wright, and able to just place it out there in right field for the base hit. Right toward the end of the bat, broke the bat, but picks up a 2-out base hit.
So 2 down, Wright at first base, held on by David Ortiz, and it brings up Daniel Murphy. The last 25 games, Murphy hitting at .324. Takes the 1-0, and it's in there for a strike, a high strike. Murphy, who has only struck out 32 times in 428 plate appearances, Sends a ground ball to first base. Ortiz has got it himself. He'll tag the bag, and that's the inning for Wade Miley. We've played one from Citi Field without a score. Sox season ticket plans are now available for the 2016 season. For information about becoming a Red Sox season ticket holder, please call 617-226-6888 or visit redsox.com/season tickets today. A lot of Red Sox Nation here for the three-game series, with the Red Sox returning here to New York and to play the Mets for the first time since 2009. When the Red Sox finished up their spring training, an exhibition game here at Citi Field. Prior to that, you got to go back to 2001 when the Red Sox were at Shea Stadium. Brock Holt leading it off and taking strike one. Holt, Castillo, and Swihart featured here in the second inning. Syndergaard had to throw 20 first inning pitches, ended up with 2 strikeouts.
First couple of innings, any indication, anything close on the outside part of the plate, and especially with 2 strikes, looks like you better be swinging.
Holt was, and he fouls it off, protecting that outside corner.
Had 2 pitches in the same spot. The second and third pitch. Second one was called a strike. This time he goes after that same pitch and just fouls it off. Almost into the pocket of Wrecker.
Holt on the ground at first base, picked by Murphy, who'll take it himself to the bag for the first out of the second inning. So Holt grounds out. That'll take us to Rusney Castillo. Joe, you highlighted the production of the outfield certainly in this last month of August, and Rusney is one of those guys.
Yeah, things are certainly looking a lot brighter, aren't they, for the young guys in the outfield. Mookie Betts has looked bright all season long, but he has really picked it up in the second half. The average has climbed for him. We've seen a new Jackie Bradley Jr. since he's been up here, and I'd say the rawest of the 3 right now is Castillo, but Castillo putting up very good numbers.
Seems like he's starting to get comfortable at this level.
Yes. He's played more baseball.
Month of August, he's participated in 20 games and at .361 during that time. Waves at that pitch, badly fooled, and he's down 0-2.
And that will fool you when you're expecting 97, 98. Then you get this breaking ball. You can see how far out in the front foot and fooled Castillo was by it.
Juan Lagares, the center fielder, over towards right center. Gap out there in left center field for Rusney Castillo. And a foul off to the right, out of play. Castillo 0 for 4 so far in this Mets series. On the road trip, 4 for 12. Bench ran in the ball game yesterday after David Ortiz got his double in the 9th inning. Grounds it foul, and we'll do it again, 1-2. Now a total of 61 career Major League games for Rusney Castillo. And a career average up over 300 at 303 with a 343 on base percentage. Two balls, two strikes to Rusney. On the ground towards short, Tejada to his left. And he throws out Castillo for the second out of the second inning. See Dennis Leary, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Wright, and more at the 21st Annual Comics Come Home at the TD Garden on Saturday, November the 7th. Proceeds benefit the Cam Neely Foundation for Cancer Care. For tickets, visit Ticketmaster.com. Two down here in the second inning, and it brings up Blake Swihart. Another start today for Swihart. Checks in hitting at 276 with a couple of home runs, including one in this series, the inside the park home run here at Citi Field. And he's down 0-2.
That inside the park home run was really a real home run. That got over the fence and bounced back, but not picked up, and it had to become an inside the park home run for Blake.
Last 29 games, hitting at 340. I think he's been nursing a calf strain last couple of days and was scratched from the lineup. Joe Kelly ended up pitched pretty well, though, with a new battery mate here yesterday. Ground ball hits the side of the mound, kicks to Tejada, and his throw is just in time. 3 ground ball outs in a 1-2-3 inning for Syndergaard. Scoreless from New York. the second Red Sox pitcher in history to beat the Yankees and the Mets in the same season. The other, Bruce Hurst, 1986, he beat the Yankees in the regular season. Then, of course, the Mets in the World Series. There's a liner to center field on the first pitch of the second inning. Michael Kadire not waiting around as a leadoff single to begin things here in the second inning.
Go back and take a look at some of Joe Kelly's work yesterday in the ballgame, and I talked about mixing up pitches early in the ballgame. Very good changeup, and that's a changeup right there for a strikeout. Another one for a strikeout. Fastball up and in for a double play. And Kelly just really had it going on in the ballgame here yesterday afternoon, late yesterday afternoon.
7 1/3 the line. 1 run on 5 hits for him. He had a 30-pitch first inning, but after that, he really was very good.
Yeah, we started to get concerned because the Red Sox bullpen was really beaten up, and you needed Kelly to go deep in that game. He got settled down and got really deep into it.
Six straight wins now for Joe Kelly. He turned his season around as Wade Miley working today from the stretch. And a ground ball, base hit through the vacated right side off the bat of Juan Uribe. Kadire takes second base, and now the Mets have runners at first and second with nobody out.
Uribe can do that. I mean, he's the kind of guy that really uses right field very, very well. Gets that fastball away from Miley, and that little bit of a late swing gets that ground ball between first and second. The infield is, as you can see, we're in double play depth. That's why that ball got through so easily.
2 on, nobody out, and coming up is Ruben Tejada, the shortstop for New York. 257 with 2 homers and 22 runs batted in for Tejada. Since the beginning of July, he's hit at 287. The Red Sox have come in and so far dealt the Mets 2 losses. Very good Mets team atop the National League East. Still, the Mets have won 7 of their last 10 games. And a liner here that'll be just 1 out. Well, Gabe will look towards second base. Bogart's cheating over, but not enough time as Kadire is able to get back to the bag. Out number 1 of the inning on the soft line drive by Tejada.
Yeah, because of the line drive, too, Kadire could not get that far off the bag to double him up. You see him going right back as soon as he sees the line drive, so there's no play at second base for Brock Holt. That's a good read by Kadire at second base.
2 on, 1 away. Anthony Recker coming up. His first appearance of the series, doing the catching today. 130 average for Recker, 2 homers and 4 runs batted in. That's a liner to short, and Bogarts will look to second, but no play there again. 2 down.
Now the Red Sox defense is showing some leather on these line drives. First Brock Holt, now Bogart's going a couple of steps to his right. Thinking about a backward flip to second base, but no play there again. Again, Kadire doing a good job of reading that line drive and getting back to the bag.
2 on, 2 down, and here is Noah Syndergaard, the pitcher. Does have a home run to his credit on the season, a 182 average. A couple of these starters with home runs. Matt Harvey also had a home run, who pitched in the first game of the series. Well, he wants to see the signs again from Swihart. His 25th pitch of his outing. And Syndergaard fouls it off to the left out of play.
And as they do normally when the pitcher hits, everybody slides to the opposite field. You can see Mookie Betts in center field shading them over, and certainly De Aza right pretty much close to the line, and Castillo also moved way over.
Line and into left field for a base hit. Around from second base is Kadire. He'll score, and Syndergaard helping out his own cause puts the Mets on top 1-0.
Now 3 line drives in a row in this inning, and it's the pitcher that gets the base hit. That's pretty good hitting right there by Syndergaard. Everybody shading him in that direction, but still able to hit the line drive up over the glove of Bogaerts, and no chance for the Yazoo to make a play at home plate.
So the Mets jump on top 1-0 with runners at first and second. Second time through now for Wade Miley, as Juan Lagares will take ball 1. Lagares, a strikeout victim in the first. He went swinging. One of 2 strikeouts for Wade Miley. Now broken bat liner towards right, and Rusney will get there to make the catch below the cap high. And to end the second, the Mets grab the game's first run on top 1-0. Eye coordination. Text Sox 1 for baseball. Text Sox 2 for tennis. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. One message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions, as well as privacy policy. Now, Jerry, I know you're an expert on this because you played a lot of tennis, and I know you played baseball. So what do you think?
I think they're very equal. I really do. It's hard for me to answer that question because tennis is very similar to hitting a baseball. You know, the ball's on the move. You got to get yourself in good position to make contact. You know, both forehand and backhand. That's a very close call on that one.
Well, we have baseball here today. Tomorrow we'll have tennis across the street as the U.S. Open begins.
I saw that guy again today. He came through the lobby, and I'm telling you, this guy gets absolutely mobbed. He was on his way out to, I guess, to practice out here.
We got to find out who this guy is.
I don't know who he is, but I mean, people were just mobbing him.
He is big, whoever he is, though. I mean,
huge. He's got to be one of the top stars in all of tennis.
We're going to have to figure out some of the top players in tennis who have.
Yeah.
Did you say he had flowing moss? Did you say that?
Yeah, he's got good hair. Yeah.
So he's got good hair. We need to know who has good hair. How tall?
I think he looks taller on TV.
Okay.
You know, I would say maybe 5'11", 6 feet tops.
What color hair you think?
It's kind of a darkish, like a brownish hair.
All right, we're going to get to the bottom of this.
I don't know who it is. I wish I did. I asked somebody today too because I was out waiting for the bus, and I said, "Who?" I said, "Who is this guy?" And some guy walks by, and he was from New York, and he says, "I don't know who it is. I have no idea."
Not only that, he probably didn't care.
Who cares? Who cares? We see these guys every day, you know.
The 1-2 pitch to Diaz is on the ground to short. Tejada picks it, changed direction on him, but he gets it there in time for the first out of the inning. Now, there's some big tennis star that has made his way through the lobby the last couple of days that Jerry has seen twice.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few of them, but this guy gets really mobbed every time he comes through. And maybe tennis fans out there can help us. You know, who's the big guy right now in tennis? Because this has got to be him. I mean, he walked to his limo this morning, probably going to practice.
Yep.
And it was a mob scene.
And one down here for Wade Miley. I will say this: nobody spends more time in the lobby at our hotels than you do. You love the lobby.
I love the people watch. You know,
yep.
I love the people watch, especially here in New York.
One pitcher's in there for strike two.
Saw a lot of facelifts in the lobby.
Did you?
Oh, my goodness. Unbelievable. And some bad ones, too.
Not good.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch to Miley's going to miss outside. Now 5 in a row retired by Syndergaard. And he's got himself 5 ground ball outs so far in the game. He's got 2 strikeouts. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings giving out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into a one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSN. A protective swing there by Miley.
The guy you were thinking of is Rafael Nadal.
Nadal, wow.
That could be him.
That could be the guy.
Could be the guy.
Well, he is big. Back to the mound, Syndergaard able to spear it. Flips to first for out number 2. Another ground ball out. And there are 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. Well, the first 5,000 fans who attend the Paw Sox Rochester game at McCoy Stadium on Friday, September the 4th, will receive a collector's edition Paw Sox baseball card set. It's always a popular item, so make sure you grab your tickets today at pawsox.com.
You know, I think the more. Oh, here's the picture. It is Nadal.
It is.
It is. There's a picture of him right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's him.
Wow.
That's him.
Yep.
Huge.
So he's your guy.
That's the guy.
I'm glad we got to the bottom of it because I didn't want to leave New York without knowing that.
That's who it is. That's exactly who it is. And he was very cordial, too, with all the fans. I'll give him that.
So not only a big star, but a good guy.
That seems to be.
2-0 here to Mookie Betts. Second time through now against Syndergaard. Betts struck out looking in the first inning. One of 2 strikeouts for Syndergaard on the afternoon. The 2-1 pitch. And it backs up Betts. 3-1. Center fielder Juan Lagares into right center. Gap out there in left center. '50th pitch for Syndergaard, and that one's going to be in there for a strike. 87 miles per hour. On the ground to short. Tejada gathers. High throw, but keeping his foot on the bag was Murphy for the out that ends the inning. 2.5 deep from New York. The Mets have a 1-0 lead. as we play along here to the bottom of the third inning. Curtis Granderson, David Wright, and Daniel Murphy. Works out to be 2, 3, and 4 for the Mets in the inning. Finally giving up a run in the second inning. A 2-out RBI single for Noah Syndergaard, as that is strike 3. It's the same pitch Granderson struck out on last time. He didn't like it last time, and he likes it even less this time.
Yeah, and he's saying, you know, how can I possibly swing at that, Joe West? I mean, that ball's just 6 inches off the outside part of the plate. You can bet next time that Granderson comes up, he'll be swinging very early in the count. He does not want to get to 2 strikes with Joe West behind the plate. 2 fastballs in, 1 away, and that one called a strike.
Same spot. Neither one of them were strikes.
And somebody's been thrown out.
It looks like he did get tossed, or somebody got tossed. As Joe West turned and stared into the dugout, pointed into the dugout. We'll see who's going.
Kevin Long,
Kevin
hitting
Long.
coach.
Yep. So Kevin Long is gone, the hitting coach. Fly ball center field, and it's right at Betts. And he'll make the catch for the second out. Jerry, we looked at those pitches on the Amica pitch zone, and neither one of them really were strikes.
No, and we mentioned this right from the first inning. I mean, it's got to be a long day for hitters if they keep making calls, if Joe West keeps making calls like that. Because I'll say this, West has been consistent with it, but they have not been strikes.
2 down in the inning. Daniel Murphy. Get another look at this pitch. That is not a strike.
Yeah, it's no question that ball's outside.
Kevin Long, the hitting coach, trying to throw Joe West out. Doesn't work that way, though, unfortunately.
No, usually the other guy throws the people in the dugout out.
Well, that's just happy that Granderson was not tossed, because he was given the opportunity by Joe West to say quite a bit. Murphy batting for the second time today. Grounded out to first base in the first inning, 0 for 1. Anderson struck out looking in the first, and again this inning. Popped up left side as Bogaerts puts the glasses down and puts it away. It's a 1-2-3 third for Miley. It's on to the fourth with the Mets on top 1-0. good things happen. Watch out. Good things are happening to local people at easternbank.com/goodthingshappen. Let's send it down to Garrett Austin.
Thanks, Don. Interim manager Torey Lovullo said he overheard some of the players talking on the bus this morning about playing the role of spoiler and how special it is for them to come in here and beat the Mets, and they hope it continues. Lovullo also said that all the teams in their division are currently in the race, but he does not want to overlook the fact that they are winning baseball games. Don?
Yeah, they're playing very good baseball right now. And, Jerry, I guess it's a good indication of what is the future here, the Red Sox, and what it's going to look like as far as some of their younger guys go. And a great situation here for Dave Dombrowski to get a real feel for what he's working with and what he needs in the offseason.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it was a great time for him to come into the organization so he could evaluate and make up his own mind on certain players, or what way he's going to go with deals, which of the young players he likes, which he may trade. And, you know, I've been in situations like this with the Red Sox on teams, and it always is more motivating at the end of the season when you're playing teams that are in contention, because, you know, you go into ballparks, there's a pop up to third base. You go to ballparks where you know, there are fans. I mean, they're excited. You know, we're going to see Toronto. We're going to see the Yankees. We're going to see teams that are certainly in contention. So it makes it more fun to go in those kind of situations. And now you're dealing also with a young ball club, so, you know, they're getting firsthand experience what it's like to play in front of big crowds like today. So it's kind of, you know, it's not a great thing where you are, but it's at least it's a decent way, you know, to get something accomplished at the end of the season.
Now, this whole series has been filled with huge crowds. Friday night really felt like a playoff atmosphere because it was a towel giveaway night, and they were swinging the towels like they do in the postseason. With Matt Harvey on the mound, and it has been a great gathering of crowds here in this 3-day series at Citi Field. A beautiful ballpark, and so far the results have been good for Red Sox Nation. As Bogaerts pops it up, foul ground, first base way. Murphy going by the dugout, almost overran it, but he gets there, 2 down. Let's have now for a look at the road ahead, presented by People's United Bank. After this finale with the Mets today, the Red Sox still got to deal with New York, but it's back home at Fenway Park. 3 with the Yankees, 2 night games and a late afternoon game on Wednesday. And then the Red Sox will have a day off Thursday before welcoming the Phillies and Blue Jays. Then it's back out on the road for a 3-city tour that will take the Red Sox all in the division: Tampa Bay, Baltimore, and Toronto. 2 down in the 4th, and it brings up David Ortiz. He'll take it the other way, but foul. And a second look at Syndergaard. Struck out swinging against him in the first inning. Two down here in the 4th inning. Ortiz with a count of 1-1. That's into the shift on the right side. And a pop-up foul again. Long run. No chance. Back into the seats. That's in the shift right now. And that time Tejada, the only guy left on the left side of the infield, made a run at it, but no chance. Ortiz in the air to right field. In comes Curtis Granderson. And he'll put it away. Syndergaard with a 1-2-3 4th inning. He's retired 10 in a row. Eastern Bank and get $100. Just text money to 36698. Message and data rates may apply. Well, some confused friends here. Maybe not so confused. They know what they're doing. One's a Mets fan, one's a Red Sox fan, and now the Mets fan has a 1-0 lead as we head into the bottom of the 4th inning. They can share popcorn, though, just because they don't like the same team. De Aza kind of backed off that. Wasn't really sure. In between, and ends up landing in front of him. And Michael Kadire swinging at the first pitch again is now 2 for 2.
I think that was a wise decision, too, by De Aza out there, because one thing you don't want to have happen is have that ball get by you and have a man in scoring position at second or third base with nobody out. So he plays at safety first, and that's what you should be doing, especially at this stage of the ball game.
Lead runner on here for the Mets for the second time in 4 innings, and a throw over. And Kadire getting a look at Wade Miley's move. How about that? And Kadire, of course, former teammate of David Ortiz's with the Minnesota Twins back in the day. Coming up through the system as David Ortiz takes this ground ball and goes to second base. Nice throw for one, but coming in and getting a piece of Bogarts and taking him out, really, and taking him out of that double play possibility was Kadire.
That's good hard-nosed baseball right there by Kadire as he goes into second base hard, trying to break up this double play, and he does it successfully. You see his hand has contact with the bag, so that's a very good play by Kadire. The other option for David Ortiz would have been a tag first base and then go for the tag play at second.
1 out, 1 on, and it brings up Ruben Tejada. Tejada lining out to Brock Holt at second base in the second inning. A throw over. Oh, and David drops the baseball. Uribe heading for second base, and he'll get there. They had Uribe out at first base. He wasn't even trying to get back on that move by Miley. And then David could not hold on to the baseball, goes off the glove.
He was stuck out there. He had nowhere to go, and Ortiz just could not catch the baseball. Gets by him, and Uribe, who should have been out, stands at second base. It picked off Ortiz, too.
Or charge to Ortiz. He does not make the catch. Throw was there. I think you're right, though. It did surprise David as much as it did Uribe.
There's not many moves that David sees like that either at first.
Uribe now in scoring position with 1 down as Tejada will take a ball. Line and caught in the air by Sandoval for the second out of the inning.
As Sandoval getting in his position down low in the crouch and down to the ground before the ball hits the ground to make that play for Sandoval.
2 down here in the 4th inning. Uribe still at second base, and here is Anthony Recker, the catcher. Line down to the shortstop, Xander Bogaerts in the second inning, 0 for 1. Just the 130 batting average coming into today for Recker. And a foul tip has him down 0-2. Miley with 3 strikeouts so far in his outing. He's not walked anybody.
Miley going to the fastball to the outside of the plate.
Strike 3 call, and there's the 4th strikeout for Miley. They leave Uribe at second base, but the Mets have a 1-0 lead. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Back at Citi Field in New York, 1-0. Mets have the lead over the Red Sox. We get ready for the 5th inning. It's time now for the Geico Red Sox moment, honoring the 75 season in their 130th game. The Red Sox beat the Angels 6-2. And Jerry did it again. He had a hit, a walk, and an RBI for the Angels that day.
Wow, a walk. That's a little different. Roger Moret on the mound, too. He was pretty nasty. Left-hander, threw hard.
It was the winner, and it was 11-2 at that point of the season. Did walk 7, and you were one of them.
He walked me?
Yes.
I should have taken him out of the game. That was hard to do.
Were you a first pitch swinger for the most part, or no?
Oh, I love the first pitch. Yeah.
That's not good as a leadoff guy, really.
I didn't care.
Brock Holt with a swing and a miss and a pitch header downward that evens a count of 1-1.
You know, they used to get on me because I didn't walk very much. And one of the reasons for that is because I saw a lot of fastballs, obviously. They didn't want to walk me when you had guys like Rice and Lynn and Yastrzemski, Evans, guys like that hitting behind you. Why would they walk me?
Well, you don't want to set the table.
I saw a lot of fastballs, and if that first fastball is a good one, that's a good one to swing at, man, because they're just trying to get ahead of you. Of course, in today's game, I would never be allowed to hit leadoff because I didn't walk enough.
Grounder foul outside of first. All about on base percentage. I feel like you had a good on base percentage, even though you didn't walk a lot.
No. Very overrated player.
You don't say so yourself.
Yeah.
One-two pitch to Brock. There's a flare out to right center, falling fast and falling in for a hit. Anderson plays it on the backhand, and Brock Holt's got a base hit. That breaks up a string of 10 in a row, retired by Noah Syndergaard.
Now, Brock Holtz had been 3 for 16 on this road trip, 3 for his last 16, and picks up the base hit on a fastball inside, able to get the hands inside the baseball and get the barrel of the bat out. The drop in the base hit.
Lead runner on here, and Brock Holt at first base, and brings up Rusney Castillo. This marks the first time in the game the Red Sox have had the lead runner on. Castillo to right center field. Moving in is Granderson to make the catch. Hung up long enough for him to come in and make the grab for the first out of the inning. Well, coming up after the third out of this inning, TC and Tim Wakefield will have the mid-fifth studio show. It'll be presented by GMC. So we'll be checking in with them. You want to stay for that coming up at the end of this inning. 1 on, 1 out, and Blake Swihart coming up. Grounded out to shortstop in the second inning. That's infield, a double play depth with 1 out and Holt at first base. Run, 5 hits, no errors for the Mets, no runs, 2 hits, an error for the Red Sox. They have a runner at first with 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. LaBelle today talking about Blake Swihart and his athleticism as a catcher. Compared him to Brad Ausmus, of course, the manager of the Detroit Tigers. And a similar in build. And you see that from Swihart as Holt takes off, and a ground ball to second base instead of being a double play. is an out at first of Swihart, but because Holt was in motion, he takes second base with 2 down.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer against these tough pitches like the Mets have. You got to try some things. You know, you got to try to create some kind of offense somehow. And by getting the man in motion right there, you get a man in the scoring position. You stay away from the double play. I mean, runs are not going to be easy to come by, so you try to create them in different ways.
Now here's a spot where you see the pitcher coming up next. We're not even going to deal with the 8th hitter in De Aza. With first base open, they're just going to put him on and take their chances with Wade Miley, who waits on deck.
I think they were hoping if that hit and run was successful, you'd be talking about a first and third situation. Then you have a possibility of scoring on a bunt from the pitcher.
So the free pass complete, and down to first base goes De Aza. Well, it's easy to start earning DD Perks rewards. Download the Dunkin' mobile app and enroll any DD card in Perks right on the app. Message and data rates may apply. For full terms of use, DunkinDonuts.com. Red Sox Nation runs on Dunkin'. 2 on, 2 down, and Wade Miley can help himself out as Noah Syndergaard did in the second inning. Syndergaard's base hit that scored the only run of the game. Called a strike on the swing. '75th pitch of the day coming up here for Syndergaard. Too tight, 1-1. Miley grounding back to the mound in the third inning, 0 for 1. It's his second at bat of the afternoon. Late swing and a foul off to the left, 1-2. Pretty good that he got anything on that. 97 miles an hour on the fastball.
Yeah, Miley trying to do his job, just make contact. Just a little bit tardy with the swing.
Miley fights it off on the ground towards short. Tejada's throw will be in time. So out at first base is Miley on a close play at first base, as it turns out, to end the inning. Let's go live to our studio at TC and Tim Wakefield for the Mid-Fifth Studio Show presented by GMC. The Mets have a 1-0 advantage over the Red Sox, ready to go here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. TC and Tim Wakefield will have an update on the American League East race. They're just talking about the Toronto Blue Jays right now playing amazing baseball with Troy Tulowitzki and a 1.5 lead atop the American League East. The Yankees behind them, and some space now between the Blue Jays and the Yankees with the Orioles and Rays, as the Red Sox right now 60 and 69 trying to sweep the Mets here today, and right now trail 1-0 to the bottom of the 5th inning we go. Noah Syndergaard, who had an RBI single to left in the 2nd inning, the only run of the game so far. Well pitched game between Syndergaard himself and Wade Miley. Down 0-2. Five hits allowed today by Miley. He struck out 4, not walked anybody. A little slip there from Miley, kind of looked back at the landing spot.
Well, the base hit early in the ball game, taking it to the opposite field. Red Sox shading him in that direction, but just over the glove of Bogarts. Run comes home, and only run of the ball game.
Strikeout number 5 for Wade Miley. He's able to get Syndergaard. Close the 4th inning by getting Wrecker, and opens up the 5th with a strikeout of Syndergaard for the first out of the inning. So 1 down. Juan Lagares coming up here for the Mets. His 3rd at bat against Wade Miley today. Lagares struck out swinging in the 1st inning. Lined out to right field in the 2nd. Tries to drop a bunt down, but fouls it off over by the on-deck circle.
His timing got all messed up. You know, and I've said this over and over again, that you time bunts on fastballs, and when they throw you off-speed pitches, it throws the timing off. You know, right now he's timed on a fastball, but you see the extra little step he has to take because it's a breaking ball? It throws everything off.
Fouled back to the screen. 1-2. Well, vote for the Amica Pitcher of the Week at NESN.com/Amica and enter to win a $100 gift card from NESN to the Yawkey Way team store. Well, there's been some very good pitching performances this week for the Red Sox, and Wade Miley trying to add to it today. Straightens up Lagares with that pitch down and in. Henry Owens among those good pitching performances. In there for strike 3, and it's back-to-back strikeout from Miley. In fact, it's 3 in a row. 2 down.
You know, Joe West may have a 5 o'clock flight.
He is not hanging around.
No, he is. I tell you, anything close on 2 strikes, you better be swinging that bat. Ball's supposed to be inside. It is inside. It's not a strike. It's off the plate, but Joe West all day long calling those strikes.
Now, Curtis Granderson knows all about it, because he struck out on a pitch that was not a strike in the 1st inning. Then it happened again in the 3rd and led to, here's a ground ball on a check swing towards 3rd. Miley is going to throw it, and Ortiz has to dive to keep it from foul ground, and a base hit for Granderson with 2 outs. You're right, he wasn't waiting around this at bat.
Yep, trying to swing at that fastball, but checks it down the 3rd baseline. That's almost like a perfect bunt down the 3rd baseline, and Miley really had no chance. A very dangerous throw right here, but bailed out at first base by Ortiz. That ball gets by Ortiz, and Granderson's probably standing in scoring position at 2nd base.
So 2 down. Granderson on at first, held on by Ortiz. As the 6th Mets hit of the day, and here is David Wright for his 3rd at bat of the day. Right single to right field in the first inning, and then fly out to center in the third. Back off the glove on the backhand, nicely picked by Miley, who throws to first base. Well, he flipped it back there, ends up in the glove, and he throws out right to end the fifth inning. We're on to the sixth with the Mets on top 1-0. Nifty play turned in by Miley. Well, next week, the Yankees are coming to town for their final series at Fenway Park. Seats are available for all 3 games. Get your tickets now at redsox.com.
Well, Wade Miley. How about that? Behind the back. Did not even see it as it finds its way into the glove. That's where the ball catches the glove right there.
Now look at the pitches by inning for Miley. Most in that first inning, 16 pitches, and very economical. As we start this 6th inning, and the top of the Red Sox order, Mookie Betts, Pablo Sandoval, and Xander Bogaerts expected in the inning. Syndergaard back on the mound, and it's a grounder foul. Brian Butterfield down the third base coach's box. Mookie today has struck out looking and grounded out to shortstop, 0 for 2. Outside for ball 2. Betts gave the Red Sox a 3-0 advantage with a 2-out home run in the 7th inning yesterday. Takes the breaking ball for a strike.
A good curveball right there. Threw it directly at Mookie Betts, and you know, you're not looking for that. You're looking for the fastball because he's got such good velocity. And he drops the curveball on you, and Betts jumping back.
Reaches out and protects the plate, fouling it down the right field line out of play. MLB.TV Premium is the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Visit MLB.TV for details. 2-2 pitch to Mookie Betts. And a ground ball up the middle. Tejada's got a range. Betts with a good speed, and he is going to be out. Close play at first base. Bang, bang, but Betts is out number 1 of the 6th inning.
This is one they may look at. Torrio Lovello coming out of the Red Sox dugout. He's waiting for the phone call from inside the clubhouse. Very close play at first base. Nice play by Tejada. But Betts hustling down that line. Bang, bang.
No challenge. Back into the dugout goes Lovello. So 6-3 on the putout of Betts for the first out here of the 6th inning. And it brings up Pablo Sandoval. Chops it up over the mound as Uribe gets it quickly to first base, and in time, 2 down. It's time now for Game Break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? All right, Tom, thanks very much. Back here at Citi Field in New York, the Mets have a 1-0 advantage over the Red Sox. 2 outs here in the 6th inning as Xander Bogaerts stands in. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, along with Garrett Austin in the 3rd and final game of the series against the Mets, and the final game of the road trip. Trip that saw the Red Sox start in Chicago, take 2 out of 3 there, and win the first 2 games of this series against the Mets. The 0-2 pitch. Reaches out and grounds a fair ball down the first base line to right. Granderson is over to play it, and it is a single for Xander Bogaerts, his 2nd hit of the day, and it comes with 2 down.
And once again, Bogaerts going to the opposite field, this time between the first baseman and first base line. Just reaching out on an outside fastball, and Bogaerts making contact. When you make contact, something good might happen. In this case, it's a single. They were shading him in that direction. Granderson was, and that's why only the single.
Well, only the 3rd hit of the day off Syndergaard. 2 down in the inning. And it gives David Ortiz a chance as the Mets go in the shift on the right side of the infield. Bring the 3rd baseman David Wright to the right side of the infield. Ortiz today has struck out swinging and flied out to right. They have gone around. They'll check. He did, says John Tampani.
Take a look from the side on Ortiz's swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. By quite a bit.
Throw to first, and pretty close, but Bogaerts able to get back. That's grounded out to short. Sandoval grounded out to second. Bogaerts with a 2-out base hit to right. Now 1-1 pitch to David Ortiz. 2-1. And now 90 pitches thrown by Syndergaard. Brock Holt waiting on deck. Pretty good scoring job right there.
Very neat, very clean, very easy to understand.
They checked this time. David did not go.
Well, not as obvious as the first one, that's for sure.
Ortiz to right field down the line, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Big Papi, and the Red Sox, just like that, take a 2-1 lead.
Well, number 28 on the season for David Ortiz, 494 overall.
Right in David Ortiz's wheelhouse. And a step closer to 500 for David Ortiz.
Line shot home run by Ortiz.
Now Brock Holt standing in, fouling it off. So the Red Sox take the lead. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Fund. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. 2 down here in the 6th inning, and Brock Holt, now the base is empty. Brock has grounded out to first base. He has singled to right. Now David moving past Lou Gehrig and Fred McGriff now with his 494th. Foul over by the Mets dugout. You look back at that base hit by Xander Bogaerts, where he literally just kind of threw his bat at it to make contact, gets into right field, sets the table to give David the chance to hit the home run. Bogaerts his 2nd hit of the day. Ortiz his 28th home run of the year. And Holt goes chasing after that pitch up and away at 98, strikes out. But Big Papi with a 2-run home run, the 494th of his career, puts the Red Sox on top 2-1. Sox on top. Wade Miley's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5 innings, 6 hits, the 1 run, no walks, and 6 Ks. Pitch 62 of the day is in there for a strike to Daniel Murphy. That's first baseman 0 for 2. He's grounded out to first, popped out to short. There's been some fun games from Citi Field in New York. A couple of them tight, and the Red Sox have enjoyed all 3 games to this point. This is lined into center field. A leadoff base hit for Daniel Murphy to open up the bottom of the 6th inning.
Let's take a look back at Miley's day so far. He has 6 strikeouts on the afternoon, doing a good job keeping the ball down in the strike zone. Also getting a little bit of help today from Joe West behind the plate. Granderson a couple of times with outside pitches. Breaking ball right there to the pitcher. And then back inside and again off the plate. But Miley happy to be getting those calls.
And Miley just checking on Murphy at first base, who had a pretty short lead, was able to get back without a problem. Now Michael Kadyr's been swinging at the first pitch today. Does not this time. Swung at the first pitch in the 2nd, singled to center, and swung at the first pitch in the 4th and singled to left. Now he takes ball 1. In the dirt, but gathered by Swihart to his right. Well, don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings live right after the game. TC and Tim Wakefield will break down today's game. You'll hear from Wade Miley. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? Falling behind now 3-0. Kadir taken all the way, and he takes strike 1. Close pitch, and this time it is called a ball. That could have been a strike. But it is ball 4 to Kadir. First 2 have reached here for the Mets.
Yeah, it's really hard, too, to say something to Joe West because, you know, he's been on your side all day long. Breaking ball looked like a very good pitch right there. I think just missed by Joe West. But when you've been getting calls all day, it's really hard to get very angry with the home plate umpire.
2 on, nobody out, and Uribe will take ball 1.
Saw Miley questioning Joe West, and he just asked, was it up? And he said yes, and that was the end of the discussion.
That was kind of a very mild argument as a result. To center field. Betts headed back in a full sprint, going to be over his head, and it's going to hit the bottom of the wall. Murphy's coming around to score. Kadir from first base is going to score, and the Mets will recapture the lead. Just like that, in a hurry, they come back to take the lead.
Juan Uribe again, his 2nd hit of the day. 1 to the opposite field. This one over the head of Mookie Betts. You see where Betts is playing shallow. Not expecting that kind of power out of Uribe. Right to the bottom of the wall. And by the time the ball gets back in, 2-run score.
Uribe at second base with a 2-run double. Still nobody out of the inning, and here's Ruben Tejada. Little dribbler down the first baseline. Miley will spin and fire in time to get him. Nice play by Wade Miley as Uribe takes third base. That was not an easy play.
No, that was not an easy play. And, you know, when one misfire down the first base line, another run scores. Miley coming all the way from falling off to the left third base side, able to make the play, and inside the runner comes the throw. And boy, you see that happen all the time. Bad throw gets by the first baseman, and a run would score. Out comes Kyle Willis.
First visit of the day for the Red Sox pitching coach to talk to Wade Miley. Gave up a single, a walk, and then a 2-run double in this inning. Gets Tejada to ground out. Well, right now he's ticketed super savings on all Red Sox tickets. Tickets start at just $9, and New York Yankees tickets start at $33. Supplies are limited. Visit aceticket.com right now for super savings. Uribe at third base, one down here in the 6th inning. And Anthony Recker, the catcher, coming up. That's retaking the lead here in the inning, 3-2. Now looking to add on. And so Robles up in the pen right now for the Mets, about to start warming up. Syndergaard at 97 pitches through the first 6 innings. And they're going to pinch hit for him. Wilmer Flores has come out to bat for the pitcher. There's a line drive, base hit into left field. From third comes Uribe, and the Mets take a 4-2 lead. An RBI single for Anthony Recker.
Now they're going to change their mind. They're going to bring the pitcher back out after that base hit. So Recker with a huge hit to get Uribe here, who had the big hit in the inning. Fastball, it is down in the zone, but it's got the middle of the plate, and Recker jumps all over it.
So Syndergaard bunting, pulls it back and takes strike one. Grabs that outside corner. Single to left in the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 5th. Bunts at it, foul, and is down 0-2.
A couple of breaking balls from Miley in that bunting situation, and Syndergaard not able to get it down. He'll probably be still bunting with 2 strikes, I would imagine.
He is, and he gets it down this time. Swire took a look at second, but he fires to first for the out there. Sacrifice complete as Recker takes second base.
I thought Swihart had a play at second base, but he looked in that direction, didn't feel like he did have it, so he took the out at first. Bunting with 2 strikes on him, gets the ball down. You can see Swihart pop out. Now let's take a look from this angle what Swihart's looking at. No, I think he made the right choice.
So 2 down, Recker at second base, and the top of the order, Juan Lagares. Yeah, struck out swinging, lined out to right last time up, struck out looking. Whoa. And the throw back got away, but it is backed up by Holt.
The runner at second base was not watching the play, but I don't think he would have made it anyway because Brock Holt was. And Holt saw that throw go over his head right away and was able to come in and pick it up.
He pitches now for Wade Miley. 2 outs. Anthony Recker at second base. It's been a 3-run 6th inning so far for the Mets. Two and one. Red Sox had a 2-1 lead going into this, the bottom of the 6th inning. New York has scored 3 times so far and enjoy a 4-2 lead. Finally going back and forth here with Swihart has to how to deal with Lagares with a count of 2-1. Recker at second base. 3-1. On the ground to shortstop. Bogarts has got it. Throws out Lagares and ends the inning, but the damage done as the Mets score 3 times and take a 4-2 lead. Today, USAA honors all of our service members home and abroad. As Wade Miley gives up 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. And back on the mound is Noah Syndergaard, as it turns out. His pitching line is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 3 Ks. Now the pitcher of record here, 97 pitches deep into his outing. There was one scenario that had him not batting last inning if they had not picked up another run, but they did. And then he ends up batting and getting a sacrifice bunt down, and he stays in this game pitching. Rusney Castillo leading it off here in the top of the 7th inning. Well, that element is so different than what you're used to dealing with on a daily basis in the American League.
Yeah, Torey Lovullo was talking about that in his office today. You know, how much more you have to really think as a manager here in the National League. Double switches, how you want to make those double switches, who you're comfortable getting out of the game and leaving in the game. And
there's so much more to it. 100th pitch for Syndergaard here in the 7th inning as he misses in the dirt with it. It's Castillo, Swihart, and De Aza to bat here in the 7th inning. On the ground and picked by Syndergaard. Nicely done on the forehand and gets Castillo.
Well, we've seen some pretty impressive plays by pitchers today. Certainly one by Wade Miley going behind his back earlier in the ball game, and now Syndergaard that one hop into the glove side, and able to throw him out at first base.
One down here in the 7th brings up Blake Swihart. He is grounded to short, grounded to second, 0 for 2 in the contest. Breaking ball missing, and it's 1-1. Action in the Red Sox pen. Heath Hembry up in the pen. On the ground, and Uribe knocks it down. Can't find the ball, and reaching at first base is Swihart. Just kind of whacked it down, did Uribe.
Looked like a tree that was coming down. You know how they yell timber? That's what it looked. Uribe looked like on that ground ball. Couldn't find it after he knocked it down. He's played a big part in this ball game this afternoon.
Robles has been joined by Gil Martin in the pen. One out base hit for Blake Swihart. And it takes us to Alejandro De Aza. Fights it off foul, back to the screen.
Yeah, that fastball still very good at 97 miles an hour.
Now it's time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag NESSONDataStrongFan and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Tweet your photos now. Brought to you by T-Mobile. No one pitch to De Aza. And a wild swing and a miss. Ball gets away from Recker. Swihart going to try to get to second, and he will. Good throw gets him, but that wasn't a good throw, and it bounces. And Swihart's able to get to second base.
Well, you're right on point there, Don. A good throw has Swihart at second base. You see this ball coming down the first base line a little bit, and a pretty good position to throw right there, but a low throw. It's going to get by Tejada, and Swihart, fortunately, gets in scoring position.
Wild pitch charged to Syndergaard that gets Swihart to second base with one out. And De Aza, painful foul ball there.
Looks like it got him right off the knee.
Well, this September, the Red Sox family 4-packs are back. In this special package, fans will get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas for $75. This great deal is even available for Red Sox Hat Night on September the 8th and Fred Lynn Bobblehead Night on September the 22nd. Tickets are available at redsox.com/family 4-packs. De Aza still hurting.
Ooh. Right inside that right knee, it looked like.
He's going to stay in the game. Notice that Jackie Bradley Jr. has come out on deck to bat in the pitcher spot for Wade Miley. De Aza to center field. Lagares back a few steps. Will bring it in. Tagging up and trying to go to third is Swihart, and he will get there, sliding in safely with now 2 down. Well, tonight at 5:30, tune in to the Ultimate Red Sox Show presented by AAA. We'll look back at the best moments of the week that was in Red Sox baseball. Tune in tonight at 5:30 right here on NESN. Dan Warthen, the pitching coach, headed out there as Jackie Bradley Jr. has been introduced as the pinch hitter here for Wade Miley. So that's the day for Miley.
Just really one bad inning for Miley, and that coming last inning when it started with a single walk and then the double, a drive in 2. Another single, a drive in 1 by Recker. Other than the 6th inning, the first 5 were very good for Miley.
6 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs. He walks a batter, strikes out 6. As Jackie Bradley Jr. stands in here with 2 outs and Swihart at third base. He'll take one down and in. Bradley going 0 for 4 yesterday in Game 2 of the series. He totes a .252 average, 6 homers and 25 runs batted in. In the dirt, and it's 2-0.
A lot more pitches in the dirt right now for Syndergaard. He's got to be getting tired. He's got 109 pitches on the afternoon. And a nice block back there by Recker.
Last time he went over 100 pitches, you got to go back to August 2nd. There's a fly ball to right field down the line towards the corner. On the run as Granderson won't get there. Jumps up into the seats for a ground rule double that will score a run. As in from third is Blake Swihart, and the Red Sox back within a run. It's now 4-3. That's right off the warning track and up into the seats for Jackie Bradley Jr. Drives in a run.
Always tough coming off the bench as a pinch hitter when you're accustomed to being an everyday player, but Jackie Bradley Jr. handles it well. When it first left the bat, I thought maybe it had a chance to get out of the ballpark, but not the case. One hop into the stands. The Red Sox close the gap to 1 now, and that's going to be the afternoon for Syndergaard.
Terry Collins headed out there to make the change. Red Sox have the tying run in scoring position with 2 down here in the 7th inning. And Syndergaard leaving the ball game. Pitching change here at Citi Field right now. Mets have a 4-3 lead. Following our Red Sox coverage, Nassau Clubhouse is presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. Syndergaard done for the day. All you can do is watch now as this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. Ansel Robles into the game here for the Mets. 45th appearance, 3-2, the 3.80 earned run average in 42 2/3 innings. 46 strikeouts, and opponents only hitting at 196 against the right-hander. Deals with Mookie Betts with a potential tying run at second base, and Jackie Bradley Jr. Red Sox getting a run back here in the top half of the 7th inning. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Goes to the breaking ball here, the slider, and keeps it down in the strike zone for the strike on Mookie Betts. That's actually a pretty good pitch to hit right there.
Robles had been a starter, converted into a reliever last year. '11th lowest batting average against among National League pitchers. Saw the 196 coming in. Taking off for third is Bradley. The pitch is in there for a strike, and standing without a throw is Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah, that was no contest. I mean, nobody's holding him on at second base. With 2 outs, the infield's play deep anyway. And Robles very slow to home plate. That high, slow leg kick, and standing up is Jackie Bradley Jr.
Now tying run 90 feet away. In the air, down the left field line, a late break for Kadire, and that's going to fall. From third comes Bradley. He'll score. To second goes Betts, and he'll round it. Nobody's covering third right now. Going to try to get there, and he does. Not sure what happened to Kadire in left field. He just froze as that ball was in the air a long time before he started to move. The Red Sox have tied the score, and Mookie Betts ends up at third base.
I agree with you. I don't think he read that ball off the bat very well at all, Kadire. Ball's in the air an awful long time, but Kadire, you see him standing there, did not get a good break at all, and then he's looking for help. Well, he's not going to get help because nobody else can help him. And good heads-up base running by Mookie Betts. He sees nobody at third base, so he continues on in that direction to get to third. The fastball tight the end of the bat. Mookie Betts thought that ball might go foul. And when he sees it drop in, look at him look toward third base and see nobody there covering, and he just continues on to third base. That's the decision he makes on his own as a base runner.
It is a triple, a run driven in, and this game is tied 4-4. A pitching change now from Citi Field. Four to four the score with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Red Sox have the go-ahead run at third base right now with 2 down. And Pablo Sandoval with a chance to bring him in. New pitcher into the game is Tyler Clippard. Takes over Hansel Robles. Clippard into his 18th game, 1-0 with a 0.55 ERA, 11 strikeouts, 6 walks, and opponents hitting at 150 against Clippard. Two-time National League All-Star last year and back in 2011. There's a pop-up foul ground that'll get back into the seats. Clippard acquired from the Oakland A's in exchange for minor league right-hander Casey Meisner on July 27th. Actually had 17 saves for the Oakland A's in 37 games this year. Part-time closer for them. Working here in the 7th inning for the Mets with the go-ahead run at third base and Mookie Betts. Sandoval pops it up foul again, backing out of play. Good combination right there. Syndergaard and Robles have worked so far today.
They're kind of stunned as they sit there in the dugout at what's happened.
Syndergaard ends up being charged with the 4 runs the Red Sox have. Robles did not record an out. Betts had the triple against him and allowed a couple of inherited runners to score. Sandoval chases that and strikes out to end the inning, but the Red Sox get a pair of runs and tie the score here 4-4 as the Red Sox had a chance there to go ahead. But Sandoval strikes out. We will keep it right here at Citi Field on this Sunday afternoon for God Bless America.
And remove your hats as we honor our great nation and all of the men and women who help keep us safe and free with the singing of God Bless America. Please welcome Bree Hamill.
God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now on southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. And by the Scion TC.
Now the 7th inning, a good one for the Red Sox. Jackie Bradley Jr. pinch hitting and taking it one hop over the fence for the ground rule double. That scores a run. And then Mookie Betts on a ball that he thought might be foul, as he kind of stands in the batter's box, ends up being a triple. A bad break out there by Kadaya. They can't get to it, and Mookie Betts ends up on third base. A run scores, and we get a tie ball game.
Curtis Granderson leading it off here in the bottom of the 7th inning against the new Red Sox pitcher, Robbie Ross Jr. into the game. So for Wade Miley, went the first 6 innings in his 42nd appearance. 0-1 with a 3.81 earned run average. 42 strikeouts, 16 walks, and opponents hitting at 254 against Ross. Ross appeared in Friday night's game and was able to retire Granderson, the only batter that he faced. So here he is facing Granderson again, the first batter that he'll face here in this bottom of the 7th inning. And a swing and a miss, strikes out Granderson. Third time that Granderson has struck out today.
Now, first 2 times were on fastballs away from him. This time from the left-handed Robbie Ross. He goes to the breaking ball for the strikeout, the swing and miss.
Nika Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. One out for David Wright. He has singled to right, flied out to center, and grounded back to the mound. 1 for 3. Heath Hembry continues to warm in the pen. He was up alongside Ross. And now Ross in this game. Robbie Ross is not allowed to run in each of his last 6 games. That encompasses 4 innings. And has been scoreless 9 of his last 10. Falling behind here, though, 3-0. Pitch walk and right down to first base. Well, as promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your photos now, brought to you by T-Mobile. One out and one on here in the 7th inning for the Mets. Daniel Murphy coming up. Trying to work him in. And he hits a ground ball right side. Brock Holt will go to second. Get the lead runner there. No throw to first base. As they retire Wright at second. 4-6, 2 down.
Yeah, Brock Holt knew that that was not the type of ground ball that was going to end up in a double play. So he really takes his time to make sure he just gets that force out at second base. Bogart with a fake throw to first. They had no chance for a double play. The ball was not hit hard enough.
Torey Lovullo coming out here to make the change with 2 outs in the inning, and runner at first base has Hembry ready to go on the pen, and he's going to go get him. So the pitching change from Citi Field with the game tied 4-4. Yes, Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Well, Heath Hembree becomes the third arm used by Torey Lovullo today. 9th appearance without a record of 5.40 ERA, 11 2/3, 7 strikeouts. And opponents hitting at .283 against Hembree. Runner goes on the first pitch, and a high pitch, and Swihart not even going to try it. A stolen base for Murphy right away.
He doesn't run very much. That's only his second steal of the season, but he got a very good jump at first base, and like nothing Swihart could do with that pitch. It was just a high fastball that was inside. Had it been away, it'd be more like a pitch out, but not being inside like that.
So now the go-ahead run in scoring position with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Kadyr's been on base 3 times today. Single to center in the 2nd, single to left in the 4th. Walked and scored in the 6th inning. Murphy at second with 2 down in the Mets 7th inning. Lined into left field, a base hit. Murphy being waved around. He will score, and the Mets will take the lead. Big 2-out RBI single from Michael Kadyr. 3rd hit of the day for Kadyr. Puts the Mets on top.
Now, Kadyr had to feel pretty bad about that pop-up from Mookie Betts, not getting a good jump on it, but he feels a heck of a lot better right now. Gets a 2-0 fastball, and it's no question this is going to score the run. De Yowza has to cover too much ground. Murphy, who'll stole second base, has no problem scoring.
So 2 down, Kadyr at first base, and Juan Uribe the batter. Uribe today getting the start at second base. Single to right in the 2nd, reached on a fielder's choice at the 4th, double to drive in 2 big runs in the 6th inning. Throw to first, and diving back is Kadyr.
It's not a bad idea. Even though Kadyr does not have great speed, they may try it again.
Fly ball to right field. Playable for Rusney Castillo. Makes the catch. It ends the inning, but the Mets get the go-ahead run, take a 5-4 lead to the 8th. It's time for the top of the 8th, and it's time for today's game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Wade Miley not part of the decision. 6 innings, giving up 4 runs. David Ortiz getting a home run, his 494th. Syndergaard 6 2/3, 4 earned runs. Uribe with a big day. Kadire with an even bigger day, 3 for 3. As we play on to the 8th inning, changes for the Mets. Yoenis Cespedes checking in left field. As moving from first to second is Daniel Murphy. And Michael Kadire takes over at first base. Clippard back on the mound. Clippard was able to get the final out of the 7th inning with Betts at third base. He struck out Pablo Sandoval. Now it's Bogaerts, Ortiz, and Holt expected here in the 8th inning, trailing by a run. Fly ball to right field where Curtis Granderson is there for the first out of the inning. So Bogaerts retired, and it brings up Big Papi. David today has struck out, fly to right, and homered. 2-run home run, his 28th of the year, and again his 494th of his major league career.
And David Ortiz with a line shot out of the ballpark. He gets that fastball and quickly turns it around. A line drive home run in that lower deck.
2-0.
Clippard starts him with back-to-back changeups, missing with both.
That's our shifting on the right side. Fouls it off at the plate. Murphy, the second baseman and short right. They brought David Wright from third to the right side of the infield. And Kadire guarding that line. Strike called on that outside corner. David didn't think so.
First fastball Ortiz has seen in this at bat, and it's pretty nasty on the outside part of the plate.
Fouls it back and out of play. Popped up left side. Tejada, the shortstop, backpedaling to short left to handle out number 2.
Now the big swing here by David Ortiz, but gets underneath it. And not pleased, it didn't make good contact on that pitch. Ortiz had one thing in mind in that at bat, and that was to hit a home run, tie the score.
2 down here in the 8th, and it brings up Brock Holt. Brock today has grounded out to first base, singled to right, and struck out. 1 for 3 day. Clippard has retired all 3 Red Sox that he's faced since coming into the game. Holt swings at the 2-0 and fouls it off to the left out of play. Well, Tuesday in an all-new Red Sox report. See highlights from the Jimmy Fund month and watch as the Red Sox relaunch the Ice Bucket Challenge. Catch it all Tuesday at 5 on this week's edition of the Red Sox Report. 2-1 pitch. A little bit low, and it's 3-1. Clippard want to know where that was.
Low. Want me to go tell him?
I think you want to know from Joe West, but you can tell him if you want. Carves it foul off to the left out of play. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation for its commitment to 4,900 accredited charities throughout New England. 3-2 pitch. And it's the other way to left. Cespedes coming in to make the catch basket style on the run. Sox down an order in the 8th and trail by a run. DCU, TC Eck, and Steve Lyons will preview the Red Sox next series against the Yankees. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Hot day in New York. Not a bad way to spend your day. A rubber duck going. You got all kinds of things going on there.
Dancing, too.
Yeah. Now Tejada swings at the first pitch and flies one to left for De Aza. Makes the catch out there for the first out of the bottom of the 8th inning. Embry back on the mound. Got the final out of the 7th as the first out here of the 8th. One down brings up Anthony Recker on a big base hit in the 6th inning. It's his single to left. And tie the game 4-4 in the 6th inning. Popped up, foul ground. David headed over towards the seats. Ortiz will not have a play. As it kicked off the railing, it might have hit him coming back.
David did not look real comfortable going after that fly ball. Getting close to the stands, taking a peek at the stands, and eye off the baseball. One out here in the 8th, and it brings up Anthony Recker here with
Count of 0-1 after Ortiz could not make the catch in foul ground. Low and away, and it's 1-1. Robbie Ross Jr. on the hook right now. It was his run that scored. And put the Mets on top in the 7th inning. Wade Miley ends up with a no decision in 6 innings of work, giving up 4 runs. Swing and a miss. Embry last worked on Friday night, 6th inning of that game, gave up a hit, had a strikeout on Friday against the Mets. He's had 3 straight scoreless outings. On the ground to third base. Sandoval plays it off to the side. His throw is in time for the 2nd out of the 8th inning.
Let's take a look at the Mets in the 7th, how they get the go-ahead run. It was a base hit by Murphy getting a stolen base right there to get in scoring position. And then Brecka gets a fastball inside and pulls it. And with Murphy in scoring position, he has no problem scoring. That's how they get the go-ahead run in the 7th inning. It's been a real good ball game today. Back and forth affair. Red Sox on the wrong side of the score right now.
Michael Conforto batting here in the pitcher's spot. His start yesterday in left field, and pinch hits here with 2 outs in the 8th inning. That one is by him at 96. Remember, you spent more than a month on the DL this year with right shoulder inflammation. As you see the closer, Familia, getting ready. We saw him the other night. Pretty impressive. Embry in his 4th stint with the Red Sox this season. On the ground down the first baseline foul, and it's 1-2. Well, don't miss the excitement of the Bruins and Celtics this season. Single game suites are on sale now, accommodating 18 to 60 fans. Suites are the ideal spot to watch the game with a group and feature a private bathroom, catering options, and more. For additional info, visit tdgarden.com/suite rentals or call 617-624-1847. Conforto fouls it back to the screen. Still 1-2. $38,938 on hand here today. Again, 38,938. Line towards the gap in left center. That'll get down, but it'll be cut off out there by Betts, holding Conforto to a single here and a pinch hit single at that.
Nice at bat by Conforto right there as he'll go into the opposite field and pick up the base hit. He gets that tailing fastball away, and a lot of times you see the left-hander try to roll over and pull that ball. Ends up to be a ground ball at second base. Not this time.
Two down, a runner at first. Juan Lagares, who is 0 for 4 today. He has struck out, lined out, struck out, and grounded out. For the first, as Conforto getting back to the bag. Mookie Betts from left center to right center now with a gap out in left center field. Lagares takes strike one. Embry beginning the year with the Pawtucket Red Sox. Working the last out of the 7th, and so far the first 2 outs here of the 8th inning. This will get away from Swihart, and up to second base goes Conforto into scoring position with 2 down.
You know, when I watch Swihart, I think that's one area that he needs more work in, and that's blocking balls into the dirt. This is a breaking ball. He slides over, but not quick enough. It doesn't move that glove over enough to be able to block that ball. And I think that is a work in progress for him.
Torey Lovullo talking about that today, in fact, in his pregame meeting with the media. 1-1 pitch sprayed foul to the screen, and it's 1-2. Runner at second base, 2 away here in the last half of the 8th inning. Mets trying to obtain some insurance on top, 5-4. Fouled off to the right. We'll do it again, 1-2. Tejada flight out to left. Recker grounded out to third. Pinch hit single by Conforto. Gets second on a wild pitch. Now 1-2 to Lagares. And a foul again off to the right. Wasting some pretty good Hembree pitches here. Another pop-up foul, backing out of play. Well, tomorrow at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC Eck and Steve Lyons will recap the Sox participation in the Ice Bucket Challenge. Two down in the 8th with Conforto at second base. Hembree trying to keep this a 1-run deficit. And another foul ball. As Lagares will see his 8th pitch.
Yeah, real good battle here between Hembree and Lagares. Wanted to elevate the fastball that time and stayed down a little bit in the zone. Pretty good pitch to hit, but Lagares fouling it off.
Foul back to the screen again.
Tried everything too. His fastball, slider.
Foul back to the screen, still 1-2.
Not taking any chances, taking that high fastball, swinging at it, fouling it off. Don't want to leave those close pitches in the hands of the umpires.
Five runs, 11 hits, no errors for the Mets. 4 runs, 7 hits, an error for the Red Sox. Conforto at second base. The battle continues. Pitch 10 of the at-bat. And it's ball 2. In the air to left center field, and from left comes De Aza to make the catch that ends the 8th inning. We head to the 9th. It'll be Castillo, Swihart, and De Aza. Red Sox trail by a run. Inning. Well, get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Now into the game now, the closer. Familia makes his 62nd appearance of the year. 2-1 with a 1.70 ERA, 34 out of 39 in save opportunities. 66 strikeouts in 63 2/3 innings. Opponent sitting at 192 against the hard-throwing right-hander. Rusney Castillo to lead it off here in the 9th inning. And he takes strike one. Tyler Clippard did a good job going inning and a third, get the last out of the 7th, pitched the 8th, and tired all 4 Red Sox he faced, including a strikeout, to get to Familia. On the ground softly towards short. Tejada racing in. He will double pump and be late. Lead runner on for the Red Sox in the 9th inning.
What, did he ever play that very poorly at shortstop? You could tell right from the beginning that he was not comfortable in his footwork at all. I mean, here's a ball where you have to put a hard charge on it. He just waited back and then couldn't get the ball out of his glove. And Castillo safe at first base. That's a big break right there for the Red Sox here in the 9th inning.
So a single for Rusney Castillo, his first hit of the day, and now Blake Swihart, the batter. And Swihart will take it down low at 99. He singled his last time up, came around to score. 1 for 3 day for the Red Sox catcher. Swihart to left field for a base hit, taking it the other way. And Castillo takes second base. The first 2 have reached for the Red Sox here in the 9th inning.
Well, an infield mistake by Tejada. No mistake here. A line shot to the opposite field by Swihart. Now let's see with men at first and second whether they go into a bunt situation here with De Aza at the plate. Trying to get two men in the scoring position. Shaw has come out on deck.
Castillo at second base, Swihart at first, and there is Shaw on deck, who would be in the pitcher's spot. In at the corners, anticipating the bunt by De Aza. Squares, but does not offer, and takes ball one.
Yeah, ideally in this situation where there's a forced play at third, you want to try to bunt that ball hard to third base, make the third baseman field it, and leave third base vacant for the runner.
Zawa and Machi. Again, if you missed it before the game, Corlevulo announcing that Gene Machi would be doing the closing right now. Leaza squaring again, and that time he offered, fouling it off.
It was kind of like a jabbing at the baseball that time. I'd like to see him square around a little bit early. He was a little bit late in his actions. You can see right there, and didn't have a good angle on the bat at all. The bat was below the baseball. Square around, get in that crouch, get the bat about the top of the strike zone, and anything below that you can bunt.
Gets it down, and it's going to go foul as Wright picks it up. A foul ball, and it's 1-2 now.
If it was me, I'd leave it on. I don't know if they will, but I'd try it one more time. Better effort that time by De Aza as he goes down the third base line, but the ball did roll foul.
Infield hit by Castillo. A single to left by Swihart. First two have reached for the Red Sox. Trailing by a run as De Aza waits on a 1-2 pitch. And it did appear he was going to square there, as spinning off the backside was Familia.
That's one of the reasons for him spinning off the backside too, to see if there was going to be any movement by De Aza. Help those infielders out a little bit.
Not squaring there and taking a pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Good
job by Recca blocking that ball and keeping the runners at first and second. That ball was tough. It was down in the dirt.
Castillo at second, Swihart at first with nobody out here in the ninth. Two-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a big strikeout for Familia there. It's the first out of the ninth.
Now Red Sox can't execute in that situation. The strikeout, both men stay at first and second base. I don't know what that was there, whether it was a cut fastball. It certainly wasn't a straight fastball. Didn't have that kind of velocity. We saw him at around 99 here on Friday night.
So here is Travis Shaw with one out and runners at first and second. Pinch hitting here in the pitcher's spot. 306, 7 homers and 16 runs batted in for Shaw. Castillo at second, Swihart at first. Runner at second represents the tying run here in the top of the 9th inning. Shaw will take ball 1. Familia 4th in the majors with his 34 saves. Wow, the first 2 to reach here in the 9th inning. Now has 1 out. Ball and a strike to Shaw.
Looks like that might have been a split-fingered fastball that time as it drops out of the strike zone. And a hard one at 94 miles an hour.
Inside at 100 miles an hour. 2-1.
Yeah, just for the heck of it, he touches 100 with a fastball.
Three and one. Strike called. Shaw thought he had ball 4.
Yeah, there it is again. Pitch away. Call the strike.
Two on, 1 away. Full count now to Travis Shaw, the pinch hitter here in the top of the 9th inning. Shaw grounds it foul over by the Mets dugout. We'll do it again. Luisne Castillo doing some dancing out there at second base. Time called. Anthony Recker, the catcher, out there giving the signs to the infielders.
In case the runners are off on the 3-2 count, he gave a set of signs, went back, changed them, came out again, put out a new set. One thing you don't want in this situation if on defense is having an infielder out of position if they do go.
Payoff pitch. And a ground ball left side. Tejada will go to second. They get a force out there. Throw to first, not in time. Tying run now 90 feet away as Castillo does get to third. They do get the second out, though, at second base.
And they almost did catch the shortstop out of position. He was in tight. You can see him right there behind Castillo. He never gets back to his shortstop position, but he's able to make the backhanded play. No chance for the double play at first base. That's a dangerous spot that he was in right there on that 3-2 count, especially with the tying run at second base.
Now the tying run at third base with 2 down. Shaw at first, Castillo at third, and Mookie Betts coming up.
You tell Castillo at third base, be heads up on any kind of pass ball, wild pitch. Make sure you get down that line.
Mookie Betts had a triple his last time up, drove in a run. Ball one at 100.
I think he's only thrown 2 fastballs since he's been in this game.
Tying run at third base in Rusney Castillo. Travis Shaw at first base with 2 down in the 9th inning. There's a fastball for a strike at the top of the zone.
And that's a tough one, too. The fastball is 99 to 100 upstairs.
Pablo Sandoval waiting on deck. Hoping he'll get a chance here in the 9th inning. Strike 2.
It's like a little cut fastball, a slider right there from Familia.
38,938 to their feet here at Citi Field. Tying run at third in Rusney Castillo. Travis Shaw at first. The 1-2 pitch. That strikes out and the Mets win. Familia wraps it up. Well, just blows it by Betts to pick up his 2nd K and to end the ball game, picking up his 35th save of the season.
The Toyota play of the game is going to be the last strikeout of the game by Familia. He gets it up there at 100 miles an hour by Mookie Betts.
Familia was fired up, got himself in a jam, pitched his way in and out of that jam, and the Red Sox dropped the finale of this 3-game series. After winning the first 2 in a big day for Michael Kadires, the Mets win it 5-4, and we send it to Tom Caron.